High on a ridgeline where the wind never rested, a pine tree stood tall and proud, so tall it believed the mountain itself leaned on him. Below his bark, pressed flat against cold stone, grew a thin green carpet of moss. Every morning the pine laughed. "Look at you," he boomed, needles whispering with arrogance. "No trunk, no height, no view. You cling to dirt while I touch the sky." The moss said nothing, it never did. It only drank the mist, soaked the dew, and held the mountain close. Seasons passed, snow crowned the pine's branches, sun hardened his bark. He grew thicker, higher, louder. His shadow stretched farther each year, swallowing the moss beneath him. "I barely notice you anymore," the pine said one afternoon as warm winds rushed uphill. "If you vanished tomorrow, nothing would change." The mountain listened. The moss listened. Then came the rain. Not gentle rain, but pounding, relentless sheets that drummed the earth day and night. Water raced down the slope, carving channels through stone, pulling soil loose grain by grain. At first, the pine welcomed it. Rain made him feel mighty. Rain made his needles sing. But the ground began to soften. The wind shifted, stronger now, sharper. It shoved at the pine's tall crown like an unseen hand. For the first time, the pine felt movement, just a whisper of it, deep in his roots. "What is happening?" he groaned, wood creaking. Below him, the moss tightened its grip. Rain tried to tear the soil away, but the moss held it fast. Its tiny threads stitched earth together, slowing the flood, cradling the pine's roots like careful fingers. The storm worsened. Thunder cracked the sky. Trees nearby, smaller, faster-growing ones, began to fall, ripped free, and dragged down slope. The pine swayed. His pride turned to fear. "I'm going to fall," he whispered, not to the wind, but to the ground. Still, the moss said nothing. It simply worked harder. By morning, the storm broke, clouds lifted. The mountain exhaled, the pine still stood, mud scarred the slope, broken trees lay below. But around the pine's roots, the soil remained, held, protected, saved. Silence stretched between trunk and stone. Finally, the pine spoke, voice low and changed. "I thought strength meant standing above everything," he said. "I was wrong." The moss shimmered with dew but did not boast. "I needed you," the pine continued, "and I never saw it." The moss, patient as ever, kept holding the ground. From that day on, the pine let his needles fall gently, feeding the moss below. He leaned into the wind with humility, knowing now that greatness does not always rise high. Sometimes it stays small and holds everything together. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.